A team of marine researchers, led by Sophia and her husband Chris, ventures near the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in search of a tagged short-fin mako shark that Sophia named Lilith. While they await the signal, Sophia and Chris film a video discussing how the mass of refuse and garbage impacts marine life. Shortly after, Jade informs them that they've received a signal. Chris, Sam, Juan, and Tom dive into the water, leaving Sophia and Jade on board to monitor and stand guard. The team first spots a baby shark entangled in a net, its stomach filled with plastic. Soon, about 10 sharks begin circling around them. After some time, Lilith shows up. They're shocked to see how much she has grown. Lilith was 2.5 meters long when she was last seen 3 months ago, but now she's about 7 meters larger. Sensing danger, Chris suggests they move out quickly, but Sophia implores him to still obtain Lilith's blood sample as planned. Chris successfully takes the blood sample, but just then, Lilith returns and attacks, ripping them apart. Hearing their screams, Sophia dives into the water to help. A few meters deep, she comes across her husband's severed hand floating. Shocked, she swims back to the surface, then gathers her resolve and returns to the water. This time, she comes face to face with Lilith, who charges at her and becomes entangled in a fishing net, dragging her deeper into the water. The pressure from the rapid movement causes her eardrums to begin to burst, making her cry out in pain. She manages to free herself and swims out of the water. 3 years later, Sophia now works at an aquarium in Paris. We see her teaching children about the importance of protecting the oceans. When one of the children asks her a question that reminds her of her past, she tearfully walks away. Mika, an environmentalist and member of an organization known as Save Our Seas, notices her and approaches. Mika informs Sophia that Lilith's tracking beacon is still active and convinces her to meet the other members of her organization. There, Sophia meets Ben, a hacker, who shows her Lilith's beacon on her computer. Sophia is surprised to see this. They further tell her that they tracked Lilith to Le Havre before she swam back up the Seine and she seems trapped, having been there for 3 days. Mika suggests they help her get back so she doesn't die. At this point, Sophia leaves them and walks away. At night, Mika and Ben sail through the Seine in search of Lilith. When they reach under the bridge, they stop, and Mika dives in. Deep underwater, she finds a car with deep gouges resembling bite marks. As she inspects it, on the surface, Ben hears police sirens and starts pulling the rope. Mika lets go of the rope while Ben goes into hiding. When the police, led by Adil, arrive, he commands her to get out of the water, and they take her to the station for questioning. While there, Caro, Adil's colleague, invites him to take a look at a severed dead body with bite marks they found floating on the water. They also invite Sophia, who confidently tells them that it's the handiwork of a shark. Doubting the existence of the shark, Adil and his team invite Sophia to help them find the shark. They sail through the Seine, monitoring the shark's movement with Sophia's tracker. When they get a steady beeping, they stop, and 3 police divers dive into the water. Meanwhile, Mika, who trailed them to the spot, afraid that they'll kill Lilith if they find her, calls Ben and tells her to disconnect Lilith's beacon, which she reluctantly does. As soon as they notice the signal is gone, the divers quickly swim back to the surface. When Mika gets back to Ben, she tells her they should get Lilith back to the ocean so she doesn't die. To help make that possible, she goes live online to call for supporters to help save Lilith's life and, by extension, stop the indiscriminate slaughter of other animals. On the other hand, Adil meets with Sophia and invites her to join his team for a meeting with the mayor of Paris. During the meeting, they explain how deadly the shark is, suggesting that she cancel the upcoming triathlon scheduled to take place in the Seine. The mayor refuses, pointing out that the state has spent a lot of money to ensure the success of the event. She tells them to find a way to make the shark disappear. While Sophia and Adil's team plan on how to get rid of the shark, Ben walks in and informs them about Mika's plan. They reactivate Lilith's beacon and go in search of Mika and her supporters. When Adil's team arrives, Mika has already swum out to the middle of the reservoir, waiting for the pulse she activated to lure Lilith to her and her group of supporters. Adil instructs Mika to get out of the water, but she refuses. Just then, Lilith shows up with her offspring, a juvenile shark, and starts circling around Mika. The juvenile shark comes close to her, she pets it, and almost immediately Lilith attacks Mika and kills her. This results in mass panic, causing some of the people gathered to support her to start falling into the water. While some of them were killed by the shark, others suffered various degrees of injuries. Ben and Leopold, a police officer on Adil's team, were among those who lost their lives. After the tragic incident, Adil and Sophia find the juvenile shark dead. Upon examining it, Sophia discovers she's already pregnant, even though not yet at the age of sexual maturity. It turns out Lilith is reproducing by parthenogenesis. She doesn't need a male to get pregnant. Sophia tells Adil that Lilith is the first of a brand new species, and if nothing is done, they'll continue to reproduce and won't stop. Adil and his team again meet with the mayor with the news of the tragic incident that claimed the lives of 12 people, urging her to cancel the triathlon. The mayor refuses, maintaining her stance that a lot of funds and resources have gone into the preparation of the Olympic events, so cancelling it is not an option. She further informs them that the army will now be in charge of security and orders them out of her office. Not comfortable with doing nothing, Sophia and Adil come up with a plan to place explosives in the crypt underneath the catacomb chamber with the help of explosives experts Poikard and Baruti. When the detonator is triggered, it will collapse the chamber, killing the sharks. Sophia and Adil's team, Caro, Adama, Angeli, and Marcus, all set out to execute the plan, which happens to be the day of the triathlon. As expected, people gather for the event in large numbers, and security personnel are stationed in strategic places. The mayor steps forward, gives her speech, and declares the triathlon open. The swimmers dive into the water. Meanwhile, underwater, Adil and Sophia come across a large school of juvenile sharks. Before Poikard can set the explosives off, some sharks gather around him and kill him. The sharks then start circling around Sophia, Adil, and Adama. Adama ignores Sophia's suggestion of them staying together and goes to retrieve the detonator that fell from Poikard's hand. He sets off the explosives, but the sharks attack and kill him. The explosives explode while Sophia and Adil successfully swim back to the surface. Caro and Marcus help Adil into the boat, but to their surprise, Sophia swims back into the water. She's terrified to see that Lilith survived the explosion. Lilith heads for the police boat, capsizes it, and kills Caro and Marcus. She then heads for the swimmers. The swimmers, unaware of what is going on, continue swimming while the spectators cheer them on. The shark reaches the swimmers and starts killing them one after another. Soon, they spot the shark and begin swimming to safety. While some people successfully offer help to the swimmers, others fall into the water while trying to do so. The mayor and spectators watch in shock as several swimmers are killed by the shark. Some military men quickly sail to the spot and start shooting at Lilith, ignoring Adil and Sophia's warnings that there are live shells on the riverbed. The gunfire and Lilith's movements cause unexploded ordnance in the water to hit the bottom and detonate one after another. This chain reaction throws the mayor, her assistants, Adil, Sophia, and many people into the water. Several bridges are destroyed, leading to a tsunami that floods the center of Paris. Sophia swims up to the surface and finds Adil floating. She helps him to a base in the middle of the flood, and they are soon surrounded by Lilith and her offspring that survived the explosions. Please subscribe to our channel. It's a small click for you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in my next video.